What is up, guys? How we doing? I think I just realized that it wasn't streaming that whole time. But hey, look at that. We got a snazzy intro playing now. This almost looks professional. All right, so I don't know how much of that actually got through. It said I needed to go live when I checked the YouTube panel. Which kind of stinks because that probably means that I was talking to myself for a bit there. Yeah, even though I thought I was live. So feel free to stop me if I am repeating myself, but trying out some new things today. Last time I tried to multi-stream, I used Rumble Studio to do it, and it didn't support the ultra-wide resolution that I use for my settings, and I didn't like that. So we're doing a different method today. This time we're using the OBS Multi RTMP plugin. So we're still going out to Rumble and YouTube at the same time, but this way it should be a better quality for everybody involved. But welcome to the stream, guys. There's a couple things I wanted to check out. One is the IGN review of Star Wars Outlaws. This has been going up a lot. People have been talking about it. And I don't really like to do reacts on my channel, but when it's something that comes like from an official outlet, I feel like that's okay. I don't feel like I'm stealing views from another creator that way. I did watch a little bit of this beforehand, and I never really do like a true react. I always pre-watch pretty much all the time. And the reason I do it that way is because I feel like that is how I'm going to offer more value to the audience. Because otherwise, it's. I don't know. So let's check out Star Wars Outlaws. I was initially very excited for this game, but the coverage I've seen of it lately has been killing that for me.
This month's IGN first.
All right, audio is coming through on my speakers. I need it to come through on my headset. Yeah, you can see all these voice meter inputs. I was trying to get this to work, but time.
Is Star Wars Outlaws.
There we go.
We'll be diving deep into Massive Entertainment's open-world adventure into a galaxy far, far away throughout July, with new behind-the-scenes looks.
I remember getting IGN Game Informer magazines as a kid. There was one that I held on to a super long time. It had the
to bring you a full mission of exclusive gameplay,
had
taking
a
place
cover
on the
from
classic
Arkham
desert
City.
planet of Tatooine. This expert mission
and I kept it just for the cover. That
Jawa
game
and
had
a
some of the
Sarlacc
coolest
pit as she journeys from the sand to
graphics.
the stars. Enjoy.
It comes in on a speeder bike. This already looks kind of washed out. I feel like this would have looked good 4 years ago, but these graphics are pretty underwhelming already.
Hey, I heard you could put a turret on my ship. I'm sorry?
She said
Did you know that Jawa's eyes are a rare form of kyber crystal?
Forgive the intrusion, but I sensed you needed an interpreter.
So you have all these desert creatures
thanks,
running
but
around with some of the
I'm
most
not
expensive
giving her a
jewels,
tooth.
and they're just using them as binoculars.
No, not your tooth. A sarlacc tooth. One from its second mouth.
Second mouth. Oh, you won't take credits?
She says if you won't pay for breakfast, you can eat sand for free. A Jawa proverb.
No, I get it. I'll get the tooth. But that turret better be good.
You have a deal.
Okay, so these gonk droids in the background, those things have never made sense to me. In theory, they're supposed to be like a mobile power generator, but they're super slow. You see them a lot in Bad Batch. And basically, Wrecker ends up just carrying it most of the time whenever they actually need to use it. I feel like this is another case where they made something cool and then they thought about the lore of why it exists afterwards. And that's true with a lot of stuff in Star Wars, and that's fine. But, you know, this as a power generator just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This is very obviously an R2 unit. It's got the blue coloring too. And then what is this, R5 style unit?
How exciting. You know, this reminds me
Yeah,
of my time
Star Wars is
negotiating with
definitely
the
a
Trade
rule of
Federal.
cool with everything.
Hey, Andy, you know where
Another
I can
good
get
example
a
is in the
Sarlacc
original trilogy,
tooth?
you have the Rebels shoot red blaster fire from their ships, and then the Empire shoots green. And the lore reason is because the Empire is using a more refined version of the Tabana gas that powers the blasters. But the real reason is because if you have all these ships flying on screen, you need a way to visually distinguish them. And so you have the bad guys shoot one color, good guys shoot another color, and that helps the audience know what's going on. And then afterwards they're like, oh, this seems like a plausible enough reason, so let's just say it's that. You see a lot of the same kind of thinking with Star Citizen. Thought we were looking for a Sarlacc pit. This looks like, what is this, a village?
It's a dead Sarlacc. Who knows what's crawling around down there?
Well, now everybody knows that you're there. Thanks for yelling and alerting me to your presence. So, in the original trilogy, it was like this big sand pit, right? What are all these rocks doing here? I mean, can the Sarlacc burrow through rock like this?
We're going in next. Okay, that's one mouth down. You good, buddy?
It just looks like a cave with...
Ugh, it's kind of leathery.
Why does it have stalactites growing out of its throat? I mean, maybe these are cilia. I feel like I'm probably putting too much thought into this.
The Jawas have arrived at the
Okay, this is something that pops up a lot in games, but it's something that bugs me when it comes to a lot of these adventure type games. And, you know, don't get me wrong, games like Tomb Raider, super fun to play through, but when you stop and think about it, they really don't make a lot of sense. Like, why is this ancient civilization building a bunch of puzzles for some person to chance upon and then solve at a later date? You know, like, oh, you've got to solve this puzzle to open up the gate to the underworld. Well, why are they making their own entrance so challenging? Because presumably they would be using that door all the time too. And instead they put in a bunch of puzzle mechanics, so it's not for security reason, because it can be solved. And so that part of game theory has just never really made a lot of sense to me. It doesn't feel like it should really be that way, and that part's always been a little immersive breaking. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a game, right? So don't think too hard about it, I guess. I'm still a Battlefront 2 2005 fan, even though the graphics are a bit old. Man, The original Battlefront, though, that was the best. That was really peak Star Wars game content for us. If we had known that that was going to be like the last good Star Wars game, I think it would have gotten a much better following. People would have been a bit more desperate to play it. Unless they're supposed to be teeth, but I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, because the Sarlacc. Let's see. Open up a new tab.
A
and
jump
then
point connects 2 points.
Stop! Don't spoil that. Shoot. Okay, now I lost that tab. Where'd it go? Here we go. Oh, good. We have a very handy anatomical drawing, thanks to Wikipedia. Wikipedia should be safe enough to look at directly on stream. There we go. So it's got multiple scrotums, it looks like. I mean, really, they can kind of just make up whatever they want for everything below the surface, because you never actually see it in any other content. Is that like a baby Sarlacc hanging off of it? Maybe it's like feeding off of it, kind of like what are those things that hang on to whales? Those like fish that follow whales around and just like eat up the crumbs from whenever they eat. Yeah, like this is what we're used to seeing for like the teeth that are long, thin, spine-like. Very similar to the worm from Dune. And that's probably very intentional.
Ship.
Did they bring a turret?
They did. They have yet to confirm that it works.
Okay.
That's your job as the customer,
you keep
man.
an eye
When
on
you're
that.
bartering, you got to check the
Gotta
stuff that
find a
they're
way down
selling
to the
you.
bottom of this pit.
See, like, why is there pathways and obstacles set up inside a Sarlacc for you to then navigate? Okay, that could be an explanation. Maybe it's been dead for 20 years, and so other people have come through and tried to make it a bit easier to traverse. But if that was the case, why is it still making those squelching sounds? You know, because if this is a corpse that's been here for 20 years, the decomposition, this thing would be dry. You could have water deposits, but this would behave more like a cave than a freshly dead body. Okay. Find a tooth from the second mouth.
What do you see?
And it's just lying there in a droid's hand.
Phew, the tooth. Finally.
What happened to the
Sorry,
whole
droid. I need this more than you.
circular mouth? Why can't we just like pluck it out of the
What's your status?
gums?
Well, I found a tooth. Now I just need to get out of this pit. Why?
This would have been a really cool boss fight, and instead this is just a big fetch quest.
Hurry, please.
Like, imagine you dive down this big hole in the sand, and you find the Sarlacc resting there, and then you have to, like, fight off all of its tentacles and watch out for its beak thing. Can't know the anatomy of these things. I mean, they survive, like, one human...
Hey, come back here.
Oh, they
That's
survive
my tooth.
off, like, one human a year. Yeah. Okay, so if she chased that guy, it would have been kind of cool to see the chase mechanics.
All right, Nix. Go get him.
Nix is your BB-8. No, not BB-8. What's the name of the droid from Jedi Fallen Order? Basically, Nix is your stand-in for that.
All this for a tooth.
Yeah. I wanted to check it out, Schlog, because when I first heard about this game, it seemed like it could be really cool. But then I saw it was made by Ubisoft, and it's like, it's probably not going to be that great. And then this is the first 10 minutes of gameplay, and it's...
Got the tooth. I should get out of here.
It's lame, man. This is not good. Okay, so you can stun and you can also kill. She sent off a stun round there.
You think you can take me?
Grenade launcher sounds fairly similar to what you hear from Bosk in Battlefront.
Going loud. Oh!
Okay, we've still got the fight music playing, but now we're speeding away on the speeder.
Okay, the Jawas are getting impatient.
Okay, as we're watching this, I want you to think about how dynamic the experience is with driving a Gravlev in Star Citizen. Because this is one area where, I mean, you can tell that this is basically, it's a car with invisible wheels. And it's got very rudimentary physics. It's stuck to the ground, and she's not having to, you know, bob and weave and really kind of move the speeder around, manipulating it more like a motorcycle. Like what you see in the movies, a lot of that is just happening contextually based on the animations. But in Star Citizen, you get to actually experience that, and it's clunky, and maybe they need to rethink how many rocks they put in your pathway, but at the very least, the driving experience feels a lot more engaged. And, you know, it's not a speeder bike game, Star Wars Outlaws, so maybe that's not a focus, but that's why Star Citizen takes so long to come out, is because they were trying to get details like that to feel good. This is basically just another type of mount in a game that doesn't really care. Sadly, I'm not too fond of the character. She has the capability to stealth, be a smuggler, and scoundrel, yet when she's talking to people, it sounds extraordinarily awkward. Yeah, you know, that's something that pops up a lot in pop culture recently. There are certain archetypes that have become very dominant in like the main character type. And what I've seen with a lot of female characters, they do the clumsy heroine. And so she's good at everything, but she's awkward and quirky, you know, and that's not enough to make a personality. You know, people are more complex than that. And so I mean it's hard to tell if that's exactly what's going on with just the 10 minutes we have here. But if she is competent in all these areas, that's going to come through in how you address people. If we're supposed to suppose that this is a brand new character who's never tried any of this before, then the quirky clumsy makes a bit more sense. But if we're taking control of a character who is an accomplished smuggler, pirate, or what have you, we should feel that in the discourse. You know, think about like how Master Chief talks to someone. You know, I need a weapon. You know, he's very very serious, objective driven, and you don't doubt at all when Master Chief opens his mouth that he means what he says and he's going to get it done. But you know, when you have, maybe I'm rambling too much, but I think you guys get what I mean. That's what I wanted to say. They recycled 50% of the assets. Like, I mean, the artwork looks good, right? By this point, they do have a lot of assets to pull from, so that is a benefit when you're working on an established IP. You don't have to invent everything from scratch. You can literally just look up pictures of Tatooine and make a Tatooine building, just kind of like a color in the lines thing almost. So that is one nice thing about having an established universe, and it does look the part. You know, thankfully she's not driving those awful mopeds from Book of Boba Fett. Those things are terrible. You know, this actually looks like a Star Wars speeder. Maybe except for this jet thruster. I mean, it looks cool, but it's also not necessary. It's a weird mix of character, extremely capable, and confident, yet not. Yeah.
How can you tell?
They're trying to disassemble me.
Well, don't let 'em.
Okay.
You're an
I'm
assassin
headed back
droid.
to
That's a
their
bunch of
boss now,
Jawas.
all right, just try to stay in one piece. Here, straight from the second mouth.
Liar, she picked it off a droid's hand.
That's good, right?
Oh, yes. I love watching the wheels of commerce in motion.
Okay, they just undercut the entire spectacle of everything she just did. What this quest should have been, this should have been you find the Sarlacc pit, you dive down this big hole, you take on the boss fight, and then you don't have a big pile of teeth. Like, you should have felt like you just took on something massive, because a Sarlacc is a huge threat to these desert dwellers. This could have been really, really cool.
Ah, Criff, it's hot, Nix.
Cool. Got her turret. I mean, that shot right there looks really good. That's almost movie quality right there. But those visuals aren't consistent throughout the rest of the game.
Turret is active, Kay.
Ew, what's going on here? Okay, this shot looks so much better than the close-up. What are they doing? All of a sudden, it looks like very plasticky and washed out. Like, the color depth isn't there. It doesn't look like... Because you go back here, this kind of looks like the original models flying in the original trilogy. This looks good. This is what you'd expect the ship to look like in a Star Wars game. And then they zoom in on it, and it's like,
We'll have more
not as good.
exclusive looks at Star Wars
Did they not
Outlaws
use
for
the
you
right
throughout
model for
July.
the
And for everything
for the
else,
cutscene?
stick with IGN.
How expensive is this game? One of the most anticipated games of 2024. What other games are coming out right now? I know that there's probably like a big list, but this is honestly like one of the only ones that I've really heard about coming from a AAA studio. So is it just the most anticipated game by default? Okay, let's click the pre-order button. Let's see how much they want. Woo! $70 for base game. $110 for probably the actual game, right? $130 for the special game. All right, hold on. I gotta check something real quick. I'm gonna pause our stream. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Switch scenes again. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut that off. There we go. Well, that's cool, right? Now we can do the outro whenever. Look, I can turn it back on. Woo! So, and then, you know, I'll be honest. I've read a little bit about this. Where is it? They talk when they first announced this. It was something to do with the Jabba the Hutt expansion only being available in the more expensive version. Is that still the case? Okay, what I hate is game news outlets having headlines like first open world Star Wars when Star Wars MMO existed long ago and was infinitely better. Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic, fantastic game. Star Wars Galaxies, also another one. And I mean, we've had MMORPGs in Star Wars for a long time. We've had some really good ones. 130 for one game of this quality is crazy, says the guy that spent more on a game that isn't even out yet. Hey. I only spent $45 on the game. I spent $1,000 on ships. That's different, dude. It may not be out, but despite all the bugs, it's a heck of a lot more fun than what this seems to present. Yeah, I mean, it's just weak on the mechanics side, right? Gunplay didn't look like it felt good. Speeder mechanics didn't feel good. It's a very generic Ubisoft drivel. Is that the right word? Especially when you group up, do essentially whatever, steal a ship, low fly, steal cargo, counter pirates, trade, etc., etc. Yeah. Yep. Knights of the Old Republic. Lego Star Wars sadly has the best gameplay. Lego Star Wars was a fantastic game. Oh man, I have so many memories playing the original one. How many OGs do we have? Have you guys played the newer Skywalker Saga, or did you get your start on the real Lego Star Wars? Yeah, this game looks like 15 hours of gameplay, maybe 30. I mean, you could probably stretch it. I would say just if main storyline, it's probably 20 hours. If you really invest into doing the side quests, I'm sure you could probably get 40 total out of it at least. But if the side quests look like what we just did, where they missed an obvious boss fight that they could have done that would have been really cool, then I don't think people are really going to invest a whole lot into doing that. Yeah, the real Lego Star Wars, exactly. Okay, so they must have walked back a little bit, because I swear this Jabba's Gambit was for the $130 version. Maybe it's always been this way, but still, $110 for a game. And really, the fact that this is already completed, this is content that they have, that just means that they cut it out so that they could charge more money for it. And that really bugs me. That's a pretty scummy move. So very, very meh. Very mid. We do have some Inside Star Citizens to talk about. 3 days early access for single player. Good point. Like, it's not like you're going to get an advantage in the multiplayer, right? You're not going to level up a few levels before everybody else can. It's a single player game. Who cares? I mean, I think the only people that should care in a case like that would be someone like me, who 3 days early access, maybe that's enough time for me to finish a playthrough and turn it into content. But I don't want it. That doesn't look good. No advantages over anyone in terms of EXP and stuff. Yeah, it's just very, very lackluster. So I want to go over the last two Inside Star Citizens. Let's talk about something that's actually cool. Star Wars Outlaws is bleh, but we've got some cool stuff coming up in the Inside Star Citizens. First one that I wanted to look at was the jump points one. This one is longer.
Space in the physical space. So basically, you go through an opening on one side, you travel through a sort of a tunnel.
The advantage of me having watched this before is we can skip a lot of stuff.
Jump points are
gotta watch this though.
The first discovery of a jump point was actually by accident. It was a cargo ship that had a leaky quantum drive, basically triggered the first opening of the jump point. It accidentally slipped inside and then disappeared, and they found it several years later when Nick Croshaw, who basically was the first one who discovered that the leaking quantum engine was the cause of triggering this rip in time-space to basically open up. And so he basically kind of solidified the knowledge to be able to
Okay, so the main takeaway from that part, and the whole reason why I did not want to skip that, is that needs to be a option for the jump points, is being able to set that Jared voice effects as the in-game effects. We're going to see some really cool visuals and audio in a few minutes, but I want to be able to hear the Jared slurp sound whenever I jump into a jump point. To me, that would be a peak DLC moment.
It's super work in progress.
So
Like,
welcome
they could charge
to
money
Inside
for that.
Star Citizen
I'd pay
Intro
for
to
it.
Jump Points.
And I know that this is Doctor Who themed. I am not a Whovian. So, you know, I know it's Doctor Who, but I couldn't tell you how accurate this is. It's a cool intro.
So a jump point is basically the means at which a player is able to transition from one solar system to another. There are two different jump point experiences, permanent and transient.
The permanent jump points are the ones that are
A lot of people
the
are
most
upset
stable,
about,
and they are always available.
and they
for
talk
the
about it, but they talk about removing the jump gates. And a lot of people were upset about that. I don't care too much. I think they looked cool, but I wasn't super set on them. But here's the thing. You make your jump gate, right? Future. Because what if we get to fly that kingship from the Van Duel at some point? You know, we're told right now that we're not going to, but what if it does happen? Uh-oh, did I freeze? Might be stuttering a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully experience is still good. This is testing my bandwidth a little bit because I am sending it to 2 locations, so it's possible that we'll get some more dropped frames at points. But it should still be working. I'm still within my target bandwidth, so we should be okay. But as I was saying, I mean, these jump gates, they look super cool, but then you release a bigger ship, and all the jump gates that were supposed to support the largest ships suddenly don't. So you either don't make bigger ships, or you have to go back and redo all your jump gates. So I think it's probably a smarter move to just get rid of a physical constraint that's not needed. They did the same kind of thing when they introduced docking at stations, because if you wanted to avoid using the docking collar, well, then you would need ever increasing sized hangars. So you would need a javelin sized hangar. And that obviously doesn't make a lot of sense. Their stations would be huge. So having a docking collar means that they can make big ships and just have an umbilicus attached to the ship and not have to rework everything to accommodate larger ships if they ever make those. So I think that's probably the biggest reason why they did it. They don't say that in the video, but I'm sure that had a big contribution. I want to skip forward a bit to where they talk about permanent versus transient.
And if you have like this infrastructure around it making this circular jump gate, then that's not showing like how it actually.
Yeah, the reason they give in the video is that a jump gate isn't a naturally occurring phenomenon if it has a physical ring there. It's kind of a weak argument. You could easily argue the other way and say that, well, the jump gate is a stabilizer. So you find the naturally occurring event, and then you add infrastructure to stabilize that event. You know, so it doesn't really work. I think it's probably more like what I was saying, that they don't want to have these jump gates determining metrics in their game.
Actually functions in the world.
We've lost this sort of size restriction when it comes to permanent jump points. So the main jump points that lead from system to system will accept any size ship.
Yeah, so it used to be that the
Transient jump
Freelancer
points
was the
are
smallest
more ethereal.
ship,
First, you have to find them.
or it was the
Once you've
largest ship
found
that could
them,
go through a
you don't know
small
where they
jump
go.
point.
We like to call in the narrative team the
Now,
Swiss cheese
any
approach
ship
to
can go
jump
through
points,
any jump point.
which are smaller access points to the main tunnel. Those will still be restricted by small, medium, and large. So basically, it opens up opportunities for smaller ships to kind of sneak their way through.
But transient
I think
jump
that this
points
is a
may
good move
be only
because
able to use
what this
once.
allows
It may be
is
a
now
little
you
bit
can
more
have
permanent, but you can never tell how
smaller
long is
ships
one of those
specialized
lasts once you
more
find
as
it.
like a smuggler
If people
option.
are looking to
So
avoid
instead of having
scrutiny,
your large cargo
we'll look
ships
for
going
these
through
sort of side
transient
routes
ones,
to get into
you can take some
a
really
jump
high
point
value
to
cargo
bypass,
through a transient
security
point
or
to get around
customs or
security.
stuff like that.
So it builds up the idea that these are meant for
In 4.0,
smugglers.
our first and only jump point will be the one linking Stanton to Pyro and Pyro to Stanton. Maybe the best way to share this design is simply to walk you through the whole thing. So we leave Lorville, we put onto our star map.
They show some new UI elements
we
here.
set
They
our
look
course
nice.
for the Stanton to Pyro
Initially,
jump point.
it looks like, oh man, they're
QT
introducing a new
there.
Drake set, but it's just Drake is orange and all the others
And then
have their
upon
different
arrival,
brand
you
colors.
will
So it's
fly
not
down to the
as
gateway
unique as
station that's
I was
located
initially
there,
hoping
because
it would be.
you're going to want to make sure that you're stocked up for your trip into Pyro, because Pyro may well not have the things that you're used to in Stanton. You probably want to pick up some ammo, and you want to pick up some more fuel, probably some more fuses,
Yeah,
and then
so
after
there's
that,
not a whole lot of
undock,
surprises in this
and
part.
then turn your
Providing a safe experience on the permanent jump gates.
Basically, you're going to queue up. You get all your
In order to
drives
perform your
activated,
jump, the first thing you need to do
you have to go
is
through as a
get
group.
closer to the jump point.
But you won't be able to go all the
I
way up
do
to
like
it.
these effects.
When it's not active yet,
It has this
a
very
field
ethereal
around it that will
feeling
push
to
you
it.
away until you've attuned to the anomaly that allows you to go through.
You have to call ATC. The anomaly needs ATC to be able to allow you to enter.
When you're
People
using
also
a
got
jump
upset
point, you're
about
actually
needing
just
to
an
use
individual.
ATC, and
So the
I think they
ATC
forget that it
calls
is a
that you
game,
have to make
and
are
so
for you.
there's
and then
tech
the groups
on
that
the
you
back
go in
end that needs
are
to
designated
be
by
functioning
the ATC.
If
in
you
order to allow these
contact
transitions
ATC
to
at the
happen.
same time, you can be
So
put
ATC
into
is just a
queue
way to,
together, but
probably
there's
just
no
make that
guarantee that
communication
you'll
a
be
little
in the
easier.
same jump group.
If you want to jump with your friends, you need to make sure that you arrive together, and when you call ATC, you will be able to see how much space is in the group. So if you have friends and you want to jump together, you'll be able to know exactly how much room there is in that group. And if it's not enough for you and you want to go with your friends later, then you can forfeit and you go again.
In the future, I definitely want to have some more quality of life features where you can get into queue at the ATC as a party, but currently our ATC does not support queuing as a party, so you'll just be doing it as an individual.
Once you are within range of it, you need to be changing over to nav mode. Your UI will automatically change to the jump drive UI.
Which will allow you to know if you're aligned, if you're tuned, if you can go in, if it's blocked. You have a visual input of the UI, the HUD is moving, is turning until you have a message notification that tells you, all right, you're aligned. If you look away, of course, that will trigger the cancellation
This part
of
to
that
me
alignment.
seems very similar
If you-
Okay, I didn't notice this before. Does the Anvil Carrack have this radar in game right now? I don't think it does. I could be wrong, but I think it doesn't it just have it like on screen somewhere? I don't remember seeing this. So that might be part of the new UI casting, which I mean is also implied with this, because we don't have access to your ship view in a HUD mounted option right now.
a move away from
Very
your
similar to the
position,
new
you'll
Quantum
lose probably
Drive
your on the rungs that tells you
experience.
correctly aligned.
Group.
And one similar to the aligning, but with tuning messages that tells you what you need to do. And once that's done, you'll have tuning access and you'll be ready to go inside.
While your ship is tuning, you'll see rippling in the anomaly, and as soon as you are tuned,
These
then you
effects
can
all
fire
look
a burst of
really
quantum
nice.
energy into the...
And that's not how it works. They clarified that later. You don't fire anything from a gun like
portal
that.
that will rip it open, and you'll have a gate in space that allows you to see the tunnel beyond and travel to your new star system.
When it opens, you'll hear the space around the jump point being ripped apart and everything being drawn into it. A really guttural, swirling sound of all the space around the jump point being dragged into this one singularity.
So I'm going to kind of skip over this next part because based off of what they say in the comments that they have on screen, it's not going to look like this. They're still working on the visual element, so this is all subject to change. One cool aspect that they do talk about is that you should be seeing a transition between the two systems. And so the way I understand it is this first part of the tunnel should probably be more of a bluish color. And then when you get closer to Pyro, then you would start to get more of these amber hues. But I think that's something that they haven't been able to work out just yet. So right now it looks like this, but that's not what they're looking for. I really want to play the interstellar travel scene, but that will definitely get the stream demonetized. I thought the same thing when I considered showing this Inside Star Citizen on stream, but there's no way they'll let me do that and keep any money from it. So yeah, so
and,
here they show some of the
things that need to happen.
We've got flickering lights, some type of ethereal type of particle effect to show you type of the direction what's going on. We also have fog effect, and this idea.
Because see, this looks really good to me. I like the blues and the purples and all that stuff, and that's probably going to come with future updates to the look. Right now, I think it's gold because they that's what they can get out of it right now. But I don't feel like it's super important to the experience, or super important to our understanding, since it's something that they say that it's not going to look like that. So it just doesn't seem as valuable to me. But you jump in with your jump group, you see each other all like ducks in a row. They actually say that. And they're going to need to clarify at some point if you can shoot at each other in the jump point or in the jump tunnel, because what I heard is that you could do that in Evo testing this, but you're probably not supposed to be shooting each other in the tunnel.
The intention is that there will be multiple locations where you will exit to, and so this will mitigate that threat.
It's kind of a shotgun approach coming out of the...
And this part I felt was very confusing when they explain it.
Players will not be able to necessarily camp that point just for you to exit it. The intention is that there will be multiple locations where you will exit to, and so this will mitigate that threat.
It's kind of a shotgun approach coming out of the jump gate, because we don't want everybody to be slamming right into each other. We want to be able to spread the ships out that are coming through. And
so what we see, to me, doesn't match the verbal description of what they give. They talk about having multiple points to drop out, and the impression that gives me is that that's multiple points across Pyro, but that doesn't seem to be their actual intention. There's been further clarification, and what you see is more the idea that they're going for. They don't want you to smack into each other when you come out of the tunnel. That's pretty obvious. So spacing people out, that means that that's not going to happen. And it sounds like they want to space people out enough that if someone is on the other side waiting for you, you have a few precious seconds to react and get yourself in a more tactically optimal position. Evo Jump Point was pre-master modes, and you have your QT drive online in the... Oh, yeah, that's true. You're in nav mode, so you can't shoot each other already. I guess that takes care of it, huh?
you get your own view of like your new setting and where you're at.
So when you come out of the pyro side of the jump gate, you should come out into completely different space than on the Stanton side. So it's sort of like a cave of gas. But there's also some structures that lead you directly towards the station. You can do anything you like there. It's just a normal R&R station that has just
nice and safe before you go out into.
Which I think the only way that you can make a station safe is having an armistice zone, because right now the turrets are not enough of a deterrent. But I feel like your last opportunity for safety should have just been when you jumped into the jump tunnel. Like, this feels like, okay, you're not quite, you're in pyro, but you're not quite in pyro. This is like this is the last step before you're in pyro. But after this, you know, no bars held. You got to be on the defensive. Like, why even have the jump tunnel?
Pyro itself, which is more dangerous, of course.
We already shown.
I wonder if you can do cargo at that R&R station. Maybe that might be one consideration they're making, is you can get the pyro light experience if you're no PvP player, you don't want to interact with players, but you do want to see pyro. Well, you can go to this R&R station, and that's the last save point for you. So you can see some new sites, and maybe drop off some cargo, but that's it. That's the pyro experience for you.
Shown on the tech preview that you can enter a jump gate and come out the other side, and we've got the ability to transfer servers. We've got that working even better than we ever thought we could at the beginning. We want to make the experience of going through the tunnel as seamless as possible. We don't want it to be super hard, but we want it to be engaging. We're going to save the challenging experience, the super hard acrobatics for the transient gates when we get to them.
We're dialing in the numbers about how many people jump at the same time, distance between ships, precisely the speed at which ships move down the tunnel,
very
things
much
like that.
work in progress.
There's a lot of variables involved in balancing it, and
then they do a cool tributary towards the end where they show all the people involved in Star Citizen video content. And that's not important, but it is a lot of names scrolling past, and I don't know any of them. So I think it's one of those things it's meant to be more cool to the people that have been involved in the project, but I don't feel like it's really something that was meant for me to watch. Force you to camp the entry point instead of people jumping in. Much easier to scout it out and determine if you want to risk a jump rather than instantly being vaporized by a camper on the exit. Yeah, I mean, it will probably give you a little bit of a reaction time, and that part is good. I just feel like the way that they communicate that aspect of it wasn't the most clear, because I had to watch that scene a few times before I feel like I really understood what they were saying. And I'll be the PvP players could completely lock down the station. They could, but that's pyro, right? Like, you're jumping into a PvP arena when you're jumping to pyro. So we keep, it feels like we keep making these allowances to make it so that, like, okay, well, you can have a little bit of a pyro experience, but not the full thing. I mean, pyro needs to just be that is a PvP arena. Don't go there if you want to avoid PvP. So I don't know how valuable or how much I like the idea of there being an armistice zone anywhere in pyro. But that was jump points. I think they're really cool. I'm excited to see them in game. I think they've made some cool changes with the idea of adding in transient jump points. I do really like that concept. Like I said before, I think it opens up a lot of opportunity for smuggling to be a viable option of gameplay. You know, find a transient jump point, go through that instead, avoid ATC and all that. But it's still very up in the air what that's going to look like. Probably no armistice when more meaningful rep and actual threatening NPCs exist. Yeah, I mean, the armistice is supposed to be it's supposed to be kind of a temporary measure in a lot of these different kinds of security zones. I guess the question that I would have there is, will CIG ever be able to make an NPC that is enough of a deterrent to actually thwart PvP players? Because right now, I think the NPCs amount to more of a nuisance as opposed to a deterrent. Because they want to turn off the super armistice that prevents you from getting in a bar brawl. Yeah, and you know, maybe they can introduce more granularity. But if until they introduce new mechanics, right now all that they would really replace it with is NPCs and turrets, and I just don't see that they can. Because it, and that's not a dig at CIG either. It's just AI are never going to be as good as your players, and so if you have a group of pirates that are looking to cause trouble, NPCs I don't think are ever going to be able to do it. Have you tried doing the unlawful distribution center missions, nonstop unlimited guards rushing you down? I feel like that's a little different though, because like if you've got a spawn closet right off the main corridor, you can have guards just rushing in all the time. I guess you could have ships dropping out of quantum, and that could be your replacement for a spawn closet. The other challenge with NPCs and AI is, you know, it would be a good analogy of what I'm looking at. Let's open up another YouTube tab. Pull this down here.
Hey everybody, it's John here.
Okay. This video is 7 years old, so I don't think I'm stealing this guy's views by watching it this way. This is from Vid Gamenight Unlocked. I'll go ahead and just preemptively share the link in the chat. This is from the good old days playing Halo 3. Did you try Pirate Swarm when 323 first went live? It was devastating. It was devastatingly difficult. Took me 4 or 5 tries to win. Yeah, I mean, they can make it challenging, but the problem that you run into is making your AI better. It starts to feel like it's cheating, right? Because you can give them inhuman reflexes. You can make it so that they snap to you and they always bean you in the head. But then it feels like the game's cheating, and that's not going to be a good experience. So there's a limit to how good they can make an AI before it's just immersion breaking, and it's just a way to delete characters out of a map. Not cheating in the sense that like they can see you through walls and stuff, but the thing is you can make the AI react faster than people typically can. They were hitting but came at you as teams and in numbers, so if you didn't team up, you died. Yeah, I mean, they can overwhelm you with numbers. I mean, that's probably a viable tactic. I guess I just need to see a 30 FPS server consistently before I say more about that, because I've done FPS missions against 30 FPS bots, and they are challenging. But if I can do them, I feel like a lot of other people could too, because I'm definitely not the best. And so I just, at this point in time, I don't know that CIG is going to be able to make a AI experience that is good enough to deter PvP players while not being just inhuman in their abilities. Yeah, I get it. Ultimately, players need to be their own defense, call out friends, and counter the pirates. Yeah. And why put... And I still come back to that, why put all this stuff in Pyro? Because Pyro is supposed to be the PvP arena. Like, all cards on the table, may the best man win. That's it. But this is from back in the day. Halo 3 had skulls that you could collect, and it was by collecting these skulls that you could then use them as damage modifiers or difficulty modifiers when you played the campaign back. And this one was always a super fun one. This was on a multiplayer map, and the only way to get to it was to somehow survive being blasted by the architects in the game. And the architects were basically the out of bounds. That's how Halo enforced the boundaries of their map. So let's see what Gamenight shows about it.
Gamenight.com. Here we are today back in the Master Chief Collection 2. As a map, you want something called Guardians. They will kill it, however, to edit mode in front of it. Hit the X button, and then you want to use right bumper and head over to equipment. Pick the trip mine, and you want to place one. And you want to set the
he's doing it by just overloading
10, and then you want to hit X to go into
for the porch map.
Summary. You want to make sure you have those settings where the run minimum and the run.
I want to show something a little different though. Halo 3 Mythic Map Pack, Assembly Orbital Sound Pack. This is 15 years old. This has got to be... Okay, how's this guy gonna do it? He might just be doing the overload the budget too. And see, the trick is if you come out of Forge edit mode, you get instantly beamed by these Guardian Towers. They just delete you off the map. And so instead of having a soft kill boundary like a lot of games have, where it gives you this countdown and then you just randomly die, Halo 3 has these turrets that just one tap you if you get hit. So this guy's doing, looks like bubble shield and teleporters. What you used to have is people would make legit tunnels going all the way to the edge of the map to get this skull. And then you have to get to this guy at the very edge of the map. And then all you have to do is you just have to hold it, and then you have access to it in the future. So I'll drop that link in the chat too. You guys can go give it a watch. But some places are still owned by certain factions, which if they do or don't like you, changes how you play. It does. I just don't understand having an armistice in Pyro. You know, if they get rid of the armistice, I think it's fine. But regardless of what faction you're working for or supporting in Pyro, like, it's still going to be a dangerous place for you. Because players are going to come across you, and they might not have the same alignment you do. But let's check out the hangars and freight.
Alpha 324 is
I'm not an Evo,
awaiting its release to hungry players like you.
I don't have access to this myself as of yet, but this is one of the things I'm most excited for. And they do another kind of full guide walkthrough of how it works. You wake up.
You can go out into the main section down at the bottom, depending on, like, you know, the station that you're in. Meet up with your friends. make sure you're in a party together. At that point, you have lots of options available to you. You can either go to an item bank.
Where is this color of the Errol set available in game? No, not Seastone Pharmaceuticals. There we go. Yeah, like not even being able to raise your fists. That gets weird. Let's see. This would be kind of a weird way for them to announce a new a new Errol color. The orange, no. Right? Because there's the yellow, and there's a blue and white version that you can get from Orison. Yeah, there's the yellow version that you can get. A red alert, soon, TM. There's the blue and white. Ninetales version. It's on the pledge store. Let's see. Gear, I guess. Oh yeah. Well, the red alert though is red though. It's orange. Are these maybe just are these lootable in the game? We're all guilty of spending way too much on this game. Don't worry, Wills. But hey, tell us more about that computer you're building. It sounds like you might be able to hang out with us sometime. Okay, this must be the dark red that you're talking about, and then there's the silver one.
If you want to grab some smaller items, which there are numerous throughout the station, including actually in the hub that you're just in. The item bank is used.
I think they showed some
in the hub that you're just in.
Custodians I haven't seen before too. I don't think I've run into this red one in game. I might have seen this one, but I'm not positive. On the pledge store, it's listed as Gray Cat. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You get it with the rock. That black cherry does look pretty good. And the silver, I do like that. Gaming laptop. Going to college soon, and I sense having a PC in dorms not too great. I did it for a while in my dorm, but it is a bit of a hassle. Laptop probably does make a lot more sense. In my case, I had the gaming PC before I got into college, so I just took it with me. But the dorms are super cramped. Actually, one of the dorms I stayed at got burgled recently. You. Which I mean, it's a surprise to no one in that has lived in these dorms because the security is terrible. But that's like across it's across the board for dormitories. They don't have good security. Man allegedly broke in and flashed a female student. Obviously, we're not going to show pictures of the flashing, though I doubt they exist. But this guy gets in, and see, here's the problem: whatever security system you come up with, it's always going to have a weakness. And the weakness here is the students that also live in the building. Once upon a time, a friend of mine was having kind of a mental health crisis. And so we were trying to track her down and support her and, give her some attention so that she would feel not alone. And it was at that moment that she stopped responding to any of our text messages to give us any idea about where she is. And so my friend and I, who were trying to help out this girl, we knew the building she lived in, but we didn't know her floor number or her room number. But all it took to get inside the building was just waiting for someone else to use the door. And now you're inside. And we weren't there for any nefarious purposes, but that's how open that security is. Like, that's not good. That's terrible. We were pretty surprised it was that easy. And she is fine. She's okay. We were able to check on her and talk to her and give her the support she needed. So it has a happy ending. But anytime big no-no with me working at an airport. Well, at an airport, though, you probably have other security individuals who are tasked with actually watching those doors, right? With dormitory security, it's just up to the residents to basically close the door behind them. And most of the time, they're not even going to bother doing that. Because there's a lot of reasons why people are trying to get into the dormitories. Maybe it's your girlfriend's building and you're trying to get into her dorm to surprise her, right? But whatever your reason may be, other people just don't care enough to stop you from getting into the building. So do just held the door open for us and let us in the building. But yeah, I actually stayed in this building for a while, and this building sucks. It is so bad. Let's see if I can find a floor plan. Because it's gonna be probably on the housing page for the university. And I think I was in a 3-bedroom. All right, check this out. Yeah, it's all concrete and space heaters. Exactly right. And this is exactly how big the rooms are. So they are itty bitty. And I crammed my entire gaming setup onto this teeny tiny desk. And what a lot of people end up doing is you buy risers for your bed. And that way you get a little bit of extra storage space because you just hike the bed up higher and then you can put bins underneath it. I don't think this hallway is even wheelchair accessible. It's very narrow and you feel claustrophobic being in there. This room always felt a little more open, but in theory, they're all about the same size. It feels a little better, though, because he's able to tuck his bed into the alcove here, where in this case, the alcove is your door. So you kind of just lose that space and it feels smaller. In this front area, the only light was right here over the door. It was a single can light for this entire living area. So it was always super dark. You never felt like comfortable with the amount of light you got. And then the unit that I was in, it didn't have a wall. It didn't have windows on this wall. So it was an interior unit. And so we didn't have any sunlight coming in through the windows for the living room. So it was even more dark. And then it was a pretty similar deal with the kitchen. I think there we had a bar light, so like one of those fluorescent rods, which for the kitchen it was fine, like whatever, you know. I don't remember having a utility closet. I think we had a shower. I don't remember there being a tub. But everything else feels about the same. Maybe I just never used the tub. Maybe that's what it was. Tubs are gross. People who bathe are gross. Just use a shower. When you fill up a bathtub, you are just going to sit in your own broth for however long you're bathing. You're just making people soup. Shower goes off your body. Just showers are better. Yeah, asbestos walls and lead pipes just in the ceiling. Yep, probably. I was originally supposed to be in a triple dorm, but got moved to just a double. Does that mean that you get a little more space? Usually the doubles are a little bigger. Yeah, I think this is more the layout that I remember. But I know we had a guy on the end. There was one guy I never talked to because he was never there. And then there was one dude who asked me if I wanted to roll blunts with him the very first day he moved in. And that was an awkward conversation because, I mean, you take one look at me and you know that I'm not the kind of person that's going to roll blunts with you. You were supposed to shower off first and then go in the tub? Well, then what's the point of the tub if you're already clean at that point? Okay, just to have a nice, warm, relaxing bath. I guess that's when you really got to go full in on the treat yourself, right? You do the bubble bath, the bath bomb, the aroma therapy. I'm very utilitarian with my bathing practices. I just want to get clean and get out. Right now I'm living in my grandparents' house. They were both bathers. So they would like draw a bath for themselves and then they'd clean themselves that way. And it's just gross. Use the shower. It's so much better. But I guess if you're trying to like relax, then you know the heat could probably do a lot of good for you. But not for cleaning. That's gross.
The item bank is used to allow players to get smaller items, mainly like FPS style.
Oh, I don't remember how we got on. We were looking at Will's new computer specs. He's talking about going to college. Yes, laptop makes more sense. Stick with the laptop. Don't do the desktop like I did. 24 gigs RAM. That's great. 3080. Also great. 17-inch monitor for a laptop. It's great. Let's see. Do you know what kind of processor you've got? That's kind of one of the big determinants. Star Citizen is very CPU bound, so you just want to make sure you get a high clock rate for your CPU. But everything else looks pretty good. You should be just fine. Point of the tub is relax and especially nice when you're sore. I guess as long as you're not using it to clean yourself, I think it's fine. I think it was Yeah, I think you're gonna have to check that again because I don't recognize I-14 as its designation.
Items without having to go all the way down to a hangar to use the freight elevator kiosk.
I'm not a super fan of.
That's especially useful.
I'm not a super fan of how they have the item banks implemented.
And armor, metapins, food, stuff that you just want to quickly get on your person, and you don't have to wait for like a huge platform to come up in order to grab it. The inventory that the item bank accesses is the same location inventory that the freight elevator accesses.
Like, my thoughts with the item bank is why not just combine these steps? I get the idea of wanting to remove the universal magical inventory, and I like that idea. You know, make it so that you have to access these storage drawers in order to get your stuff on. But the way that you have to put it in the drawer and then equip it, I think that that's kind of dumb. Like, why not just make a little man off to the side and you can just like drag the stuff onto that little figurine, and then it applies the same thing to you in the game.
So in fact, you can do things like
you have a
put
little
something
mannequin over
into
here.
your location inventory via the item bank, and then later on decide you want to get it back while you're in your hangar. And you can do that via the freight elevator kiosk or any of the other item banks that are in the hangars.
And while you and your group members are certainly welcome in your new
I hope
personal
suit lockers
persistent hangar,
allow you a quick change
questions still
settings so
abound
ships with
about
lockers
what
have an
happens when an
advantage.
unwelcome guest
Yeah,
sneaks
like
in.
I mean, Minecraft has that. You
If
have
someone
armor
gets
stands.
into your
You
hangar,
can just like look
there
at
is
an
a
armor
trespassing
stand
timer
and
that
you
will
do the
start
little
ticking. After like
and then
30
it
seconds
puts
or
the
so,
armor on you.
they're going to get automatically kicked out.
So we don't need to.
In addition, we have
you don't need to
changed
reinvent the wheel.
rules
Just
in the
do what
hangar
Minecraft
to make
does.
it allow the same kind of like non-armistice zone behavior that the ships do. So we are modifying it to where you can shoot people that even trespass inside your hangar and not get a infraction for it.
And we might be
At your home
seeing
location,
the
it
end
will
of
be your
the
personal
era
hangar,
of
but if you
tucking,
go to a
guys.
different place in the verse, then that hangar that was
It might
given to
be
you is what we
harder
call,
to do
a
piracy
public
from a hangar.
but you're still the person that like has authority over it. So while you do, you have the same kind of rights.
And I think that scene illustrates another one of my qualms about turrets at the moment, or ship weaponry, is it is very difficult to actually target players on foot. And I feel like it would be very easy to just make some simple tweaks to give you like a person targeting overlay. Like, I don't think it needs to be its own separate mode, but contextually, I think it should be able to recognize that you're looking at a player, and then you can just hit them easier. The zoom helps, but you still have, from my experience, and maybe it's changed a little bit, but you still have the two directions that your weapons are aiming. And so it's still hard to get them to converge on a human target. Like, if you're using a Gladius, it's not so bad because you have that center-mounted nose gun. But then when you have a turret or a ship that has, you know, a gun on either side, it's a lot more difficult to get those to line up. So you end up like kind of like skewing it to a side so that you can get one of the guns to hit the person.
In many ways, these new hangars are your first home
But
ownership
I
in
do
the
need to
verse,
play with
with
it a
not
little
only
more.
the
Maybe
abilities to
precision
defend
targeting makes
yourself
it
against
easier.
intruders without getting a crime stat, but also your first abilities to customize and decorate your space as you see fit.
The personal hangars are kind of the first real ownership in the world for the players. We've had ownership with the ships, which is great. You've been able to keep things inside them for some time now and, you know, kind of customize it that way. But this is the first kind of like home, the first place in the world that actually is yours.
And I think the difference here is there's a very high likelihood that your ship blows up. You know, either you crash or the game breaks or you're taking on a mission and you get legitimately killed. And so I don't see myself spending a lot of time decorating a ship, but I could maybe see myself spending more time decorating a hangar space because this can't be destroyed.
And it's allow you to store furniture, you can store boxes, cargo if you want to stockpile, and be kind of clever with trading. Anything that, you know, any flair, anything that you want that will help make it feel like home. but it's not the end. We have lots of plans for the future.
I've got some
you've
roosters
seen
I can
things
put
with
out
all
now
the base building
from,
updates, and also we've talked in the
when they
past
did the
about things
Chinese
like
New Year
persistent
themed
habs, etc. So there's
event
more
with
that's
the
going to be
red
coming
letters.
along this
I have
vein,
those.
but
I
like, the
think that's
personal
about all
habs
the
are
Clear I
the first
have.
big step of ownership in the world for players.
And they're
With
sizing it up a
armistice
little
zones
more.
now removed from hangars, persistence
zones are
allows
removed,
players
so now
to
you can
now
actually
set their most
combat
used
players
items
trying to
out for
pirate
easy
you.
access before any launch.
They
You can display
retuned
your
some of the
firearms,
timing
ship items, and more
for
however you'd like.
different size crates.
And in future releases beyond
which is
Alpha
really
324, this will include display cases for armor as well.
Basically,
was there
almost
anything else that I
anything in your
felt was
inventory
important?
you'll be able to pull up via either the item bank or the freight
Everything else
elevator,
is really
and
just
then
kind
you
of
can
review
directly
for
leave
people
them.
that haven't been looking into hangars. I have not seen Morphologist's video. I don't think I'm going to pull it up on stream, but I have heard that I should check it out. So I will probably do that off screen. All right, let us hear it, Wills. What kind of core are you rocking? i9 12900 HK. Let's see. i9. Oh. Let's see what you got. Up to 5 gigahertz clock speed. That should be pretty good. "14 cores, 6 performance cores, 8 E cores." Yeah, you should be pretty happy with this one. This will be pretty good. And this is the specs I'm looking at. Laptops have come a long way. Holy cow. This kind of performance in a laptop is insane. Like 5 gigahertz coming out of a laptop with a boost power of 115 watts. Let's see. Right now I'm running a 5800 X3D as my processor, and it's quite a few years older, but I think it's like a lot more wattage. See, I should be able to pull up one of my utility apps that would tell me how much wattage I'm pulling. Oh, I guess it's not as bad as I was thinking. Maybe when we get the game pulled up, we'll see this climb up. But right now, I'm pulling between 12 and 20 watts, so not that bad. I'll leave that running in the background. Sure. Yeah, send it to me. Well, post it in the general chat on the Discord. You should be able to post it in the general chat. Oh, really? All right, yeah, shoot me a DM. All right, let's see what Wills is getting. I like that lighting. I remember it wasn't that long ago that lighting on gamer stuff was so gaudy. Now there's a much needed element of refinement, so you don't feel super corny when you're walking around with your laptop. Like, this looks really nice. I would not be upset about having those lights on. Let's see if I can find a good example of what I'm thinking though. Like when they used to look really bad. Yeah, this kind of gets at what I'm looking at. Like it's super edgy, you know. It's just it looks very infantile. Doesn't look good. Same deal with this one. Like, ooh, yeah, you're so tough. You got a space cat on your mouse, and then you got the lightning. But this looks pretty professional. I like that. And you said yours is the one with 24 gigs? I don't think they have that listed here. Maybe that's just an upgrade that you picked. Oh, wait. No, it's further down. What? Oh, video memory. I'm dumb. I don't see a 24 gig option. That's okay, though. Only thing standing between me and an awesome computer is space and a wife. Well, I mean, the only thing standing between me and doing constant upgrades on my computer is my bank account. So we all have masters we serve. My father said he can cover half the cost of the laptop, and I almost have enough for the other half. Good for you, man. We have plenty of money to... Okay, here's my complaint about YouTube chat. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. When I'm looking at the... when I have this locked into my browser so that I can see everything that I'm talking to you guys about, this heart covers the last word every time. It's so frustrating. So I have to like wait for someone else to send a chat so that I can get the last word of what someone said. Hey, 16 gigs is still good though. And see, here's the thing. As long as it's not soldered in place, memory upgrades is one of the easiest things to do later. Like 16, you'll probably be very fine with any game that you want to play today. It's just down the road, if you wanted to do a memory upgrade, you could probably do that. So I wouldn't sweat it. Memory upgrades, easy. In fact, let's find out, can you upgrade the memory on this one? Bet this is a rabbit hole you didn't expect to see on stream, huh? Just realize it's a 4K monitor. And if you're like me, you're probably going to not run it at 4K. You're probably going to want to run it at a lower, or definitely employ the DLSS, because you got that GTX or RTX 3080. So you'll have access to DLSS, which means that you can render at a lower resolution and boost it up to the 4K. So that's going to be really nice. Let's see. Let's do this. Copy, paste, motherboard. Let's take a look. See what a used motherboard looks like. I'm thinking this is our SODIMS right here, right? So it doesn't look like it's soldered. which means that you should be able to swap this out super easy down the road if you wanted to. And over here, I would guess is that looks like some M.2 upgrade ability. Yeah, most modern laptops, it's been less and less that I've even seen true hard drives be shipped with them. Usually the newer ones, they're going to come with some kind of flash memory. MSI makes gaming laptops and knows gamers like to upgrade. They're not done. Well, okay, you say that, but there are gaming laptops with fixed memory that you can't upgrade. I am pretty stoked about the stuff that Framework is doing, though, because that takes laptop upgradability to a new level, and I think that it's awesome. Cool, man. Yeah, once you get your laptop, make sure you join in with us. I was planning on playing some Satisfactory today. It's giving me an error. I guess I checked it earlier to see if it was installed, and I guess it is not. I don't think this one takes too long to go, though, so we're not doing too bad. I wanted to look at Satisfactory though because it has base building, and so I kind of wanted to keep with the theme of that we did last time, where we were looking at more base building mechanics. Last time we did a bit of City Skylines 2, so this time it was going to be a continuation of that, but it's not a super big deal. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to try out an idea I had for some piracy, so I want to see if I can get into some trouble on Star Citizen. And if I'm jumping into Star Citizen, I'm going to throw myself into the community hangout channel. So if anyone else is playing, they can join in too. Oh, I need to put my chat back so I don't lose it. What kind of sticks do you have, Wills? But oh, there's a easy button. Restore chat. That works. I'll do that. I want to be able to use my joystick because my current laptop drivers are too outdated to use it. Gladiator NXT, that's my boy, man. They're good sticks. They're a lot of fun. But that means that you have the sticks, but you haven't been able to use them all this time. That sucks, man. That is not a fun deal. Yeah, Schlag says I'm a mouse keyboard scrub, but he could kick my butt anytime with his mouse and keyboard. It's not like the sticks made me powerful. Schlag spends a lot more time getting good at the game than I do. I think the biggest thing is just the way that they make you feel. It's fun to use the stick. F7A Mark II instant power upgrade. I have one! And I've been using it. I actually, last time I played, I did jump into a bit of PvP with the F7A, and I felt pretty untouchable, which doesn't bode well for game balance, but I felt pretty good. It has some more precision in some aspects because you have more granularity with your translation controls. Oh, maybe we do get to play some Satisfactory. I didn't think it was going to take... I didn't think it was going to be that quick. But now I have 2 games trying to load at once, and it's causing me issues. Let's close Star Citizen for now, then. Who's played Satisfactory before? And I'm gonna skip the tutorial. It just takes a while to get through. Oh man, I watched Let's Game It Out too. That guy is insane. Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Let's Game It Out. Today we're playing Satisfactory. Okay, I need to adjust some settings right off the beat. Controls. Mouse sensitivity. I use a very high DPI for my mouse, so I always have to lower the in-game sensitivity. In theory, that results in it being a more precise signal being sent to the computer. Right, 2. 2's too much. Let's try 1.5. Okay, this should be good. So, start off, you find some ore veins, and then you do the very manual process of collecting it yourself. And you can see over here on the far left, you've got a little counter going up. You can just sit here mining forever and it'll keep going up, which I think may be kind of similar to at least how they've shown the mining mechanics for bases in Star Citizen might work, because they show these lasers pointing down into the ground, and presumably they're going to extract resources, right? But where it comes from is kind of anyone's guess at this point, but it might end up being that it will be such that it'll just.
This is one of multiple edibles we have detected in your vicinity which are within approved nutritional and medical categories as established by R&D. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Okay. That's one of the enemies you have. I don't have any equipment to fight them right now, so I do want to be a little careful. I haven't played this map before, and I've never seen these balloon things over here. Let's go. Tyrian ore.
New technologies can be developed based on this new, superconductive, gold-like element, primarily in power and electronics. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
If I remember right, I think there's pure and impure nodes. And so if you find a pure iron node, it will actually give you more resources, I think, for action. Different, isn't it? Oh, I remember those guys. I don't like them. They shoot projectiles. They're no good. Remember how to access this. Are you? Damn for. I don't remember this. Now I have 60 of it. What would be cool is we can set up shop around here. You want to start kind of close to a you want to start close to a node. That guy should start working. And then he has a little internal buffer, if I remember right, so I don't need to check him immediately. But in order in order to keep them working, you have to empty them out every once in a while. Flashlight. And then this guy, use him for like deliveries. So you have mission tiers that. Oh, is game audio too loud? Let me fix that. There we go. That should be better now. Now that we have the hub, this will kind of tell us our first milestones that we need to work through. Oh, let's take this one on. And we need to feed it some cement, some iron plates, and some iron bars. So we can make those here. So you can just hold this button down and you'll craft. And eventually your goal is to automate a lot of this stuff, right? So you don't have to sit here holding the button down. And then we need to make iron plates, iron rods. We need concrete. There's concrete made out of it. Oh wait, I already have 145 of those, so I'm not gonna bother with those. Need more rods. And then I need a lot more concrete. Oh, it's from that limestone. I need a lot more. But I can turn some of my stuff in. So now I just need more limestone. Got some over here. We have something glowy too. is this? Those are
This
really nice.
semi-slug seems to emit unfamiliar energy readings which could potentially be retrofitted into fix-it technology. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Yeah, you can use the, if I remember right, you use those for, like, overclocking.
Data shows this as a mix of sulfide and sulfate minerals. It could be an indication of recent volcanic activity. A new research tree exploring volatile self-defense applications can now be accessed in the MAM.
Which means guns. Or limestone. I can't remember if limestone comes in the notes. I don't think it does. Seems like that's one of the things that you always have to, like, go out looking for. Looks like another power slug there. But I don't have anything to take on that guy right yet. Those things don't go away though, so I can go back to it some other time to pick that up. Got some noxious gas over here. Not limestone at though. Another power slug. I don't think I can make this jump. Yeah. No. But eventually I can make a platform and get over there. You're another slug. There's a bunch of slugs. There's two, one there and one there. Let me know if you guys see any. I'm not seeing any limestone. Slug. They must have increased the frequency with how much those things appear. thing. I can get up to that. Here's a pure copper ore. Let's see. Map. It's west or east of the hub. I can get back here later. Okay, I must have already come through here because these ones are all cracked. I have a way of getting up to that machine I saw up there with my current technology level. Okay, there's this guy. Eventually you get a jetpack that you can use to get around. And is this some limestone over here? Please be. Oh, it is. Cool. This must be a node then, because I'm not breaking this, which means that I should set up another portable miner. What was it? Tab. Back it to work. And go grab this slug. And I think I saw a purple one over here next to the animal. I think there's a bit more to my left. Here it is. I think I pissed it off. Must have seen me. He's still around. I'll come back to it. It's not worth risking it right now. I'll come back when I have some weapons I can fight back with. See how our miner's doing. Alright, so we grabbed a stack from that guy. I think we've got enough to finish off this part. This 200 minus 76. Hello guys, this is Oddjob Entertainment and welcome to my Satisfactory Let's Play. Yeah, there we go. 200 minus 76, that's 124. Okay, we need 62, no, 52 more. Let's see if that miner has the rest of what I need. Usually when you see wrecks like that, they've got some pretty cool stuff in them. I just don't think I can get up to that one yet. This is multitasking right here. I think my plan is I'll finish up this mission tier. I'll do some real basic base building, and then we'll swap over to some Star Citizen and play more of that. As you can see, this game does have day-night cycles, but night is used very loosely. This is as dark as it gets. It's really cool. And this game is only kind of a survival game. It's more about logistics. Oh, it's not like it needs to have a super scary, dark nighttime. $52. All right. Now we can turn this in.
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
So that means that now I can do some base building. Eventually we want to build space elevator. I want to do a simple foundation now. 5 concrete and 2 iron plates. So we need some more concrete. Unfortunately, whenever you turn stuff in, you don't get to keep that. So I just sent all that into the ether and I don't get to use it. That guy's going back to me. Yep. Cool. So, let's see, build, left mouse button, rotate hologram.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
And I have a mod pack, or some mods that I was using before that basically enable you to do a lot of this a bit more automated. When I was looking at what games I wanted to play today, I was trying to remember, what did I have going on in Satisfactory that required a mod manager? But placing these individually, suddenly I remember. Now we've got a little bit of a platform laid out. And let's see. Oh, I can make one of these. I just need some more iron rods. Manage. set this guy up. Like that. And then I need some way to generate power. Biomass burner. There we go. So biomass you get from... That's right, you gotta chop trees down. Two wood. This is one of the harder maps, so presumably that's going to mean that wood is probably one of the things that they make harder to find. Be enough to get a little bit of a sample going. Yeah, alright, cool. We got 40 biomass. Now if I remember, these things... I remember they are efficient. So, like, they don't use power if they don't have a demand for power. So I think I should be okay to just dump all that in there. And then I need some wiring. Got copper cable. Oh, we do have a xenozapper. There you just Yep. He's found me, guys. Ah, crap. What's the fight button? Bring it on. Woo. Yeah.
The
Tell your
remains of
friends.
this creature might shed light on how to increase chances of survival. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Okay. There we go. All right. All right, now this guy's creating power. Now I can feed this guy all my iron ore, and he will turn that into iron ingots. And I think this is where you put the power slugs in, but you have to unlock them first. then we can... Oh, I need... What is that? Concrete? Oh. Go back to that limestone thing. I want to get that smelter automated into dumping its contents into a storage container. Stuff while I'm walking against it. Probably enough for what I need right now. And the biomass burner, that's really just the first tier of power that you get going. Eventually you unlock oil and coal, and those give you a lot more power. And then we need concrete for conveyor belts. Can't afford. Oh, I'm missing rods. I need rods too. Oh, and I need iron plates. Good. There we go. this should... It's not doing the thing. Oh, is it just because I don't have anything else in there? Yeah, look at that! Woo! Now we've got iron going into our storage container. So, my hope is that CIG is looking at games like Satisfactory for inspiration on base building. It's obviously going to have its own twist on it, which I'm excited to see, because CIG makes some really incredible looking assets. But I really hope that we get to see mechanics like this in Star Citizen. You know, whatever their interpretation ends up being. But yeah, that's everything else in Satisfactory kind of builds on what we just did. Bring it on! So, everything else is an extension of the logistics, the building, smelting, crafting, and all of that ties into base building. So I'm sure that we're going to see aspects of this in Star Citizen. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really cool. But for the Satisfactory part, I'm going to stop it there. And then let's switch over to our main game, Star Citizen. Oh, and I set up another cool thing with OBS today. Check this out. Ah, now I can play my orbital bombardier at animation while I'm streaming. And I can also do this one. Check this out. Woo! Don't remember to like, share, and subscribe. You guys already saw that I can do the I can do the outro, the channel outro before. So we're getting all kinds of cool abilities with our new streamer toolkit. Hopefully I'm not stuck in an infinite loading. It took a while to load last time we were trying to get the game up too. But I'm hoping it's not that I just was impatient. Come on. There we go. Yay. Where am I at? I think this is Mark L1. Let's see. Yeah. So, first step for us today is I need to get my character kitted out. Let's all right, help me out, chat. Does the Night Stalker require a charge up time to shoot? I think it does. So I think for what I want to do today, the this guy is going to be better, the BR2. Okay, how do I stop inspecting this guy? I think I'm stuck in an animation. Are you kidding me? I can't F1. Oh, someone's saying the server's buggy. Maybe it's that. Let's take a look. I mean, B-Win looks fine. But something's weird. I don't mean to yell at people. Let's see, do I wait for the server to recover? No, I don't. I come back. Sending off fireworks right now. Being that I'm streaming from Utah, we did have Pioneer Day earlier this week. That's the 24th. And to commemorate the LDS pioneers arriving in Utah Valley. And typically you hear a lot of fireworks the day of, but 27th is kind of late to be doing them. Come on, dude, get with the program. All right. So now I'm going to go back to the Galleria, and instead of inspecting, I'm just going to buy the shotgun. Learn my lesson. Those animations look swell. They didn't want to see him that many times. A lot of fireworks. You guys probably can't hear anything, but to me it sounds like the writing of the Star-Spangled Banner. I'm just hearing bombs bursting in the air, like, constantly. Okay, so we got that. Need to get some ammo for it. Which are still listed under attachments, which I think is funny. Okay, now I need some kit, some armor.
Good purchase. Smart buy.
Oh, this is medium armor. Oh, wait, this is light? I don't know. We'll roll with it. Let's get the light backpack. Alright, and what else do I need? I need med pens. Probably sell those here.
Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Yes, they do.
If you're not seeing
Those.
something, you might want to check our spectrum selection.
And need to get a multi-tool. So I need a tractor beam. Maybe I'll just go with the tractor rifle, because I don't anticipate needing anything besides a tractor beam. There we go. So, this might give you a clue as to what my plans are. Let's see if this works out the way it does in my head. sure someone's already tried this. I just don't do a lot of PvP shenanigans. So I wouldn't really know myself. Let's go find someone to pick on.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been delivered to the place visitors.
Systems activating. Systems on.
What's the closest bigger station to me? I don't want to go to Arkrook though. So let's just do probably Hurston. Okay, let's go to Hurston.
Thank you, and please visit again. You are clear to launch.
It's a pretty zippy ship. It's been a while since I've flown this thing. I haven't flown it in master modes before.
Thank you, and please visit again.
This one, because it's an alien ship, it has unique quantum animations, which is why I grabbed it. Because the ship that I use this time around isn't the important part. Who is online that I can invite to join in? I'm gonna need one person to help me, at least one person to help me with my shenanigans. I'm really excited for the new quantum travel experience. The new effects look really good. And I think it's going to be nice to have something to keep you a little more busy instead of me literally just twiddling my thumbs right now. Anything we can do to reduce the dead time in Star Citizen, I am in favor of. Make sure that I'm still in frame when I'm sitting back. Yeah, we're good. Cool. What are these guys talking about? Something about a hopper? Oh, they're talking about the vulture. Right? Doesn't the hopper only allow one SCU at a time? Ooh, that is some rough frames all of a sudden. Not a fan of that. Holy cow. You're just hoping it gets better as I get closer to Lorville? Doubt it, though. I mean, Lorville's going to be more of a load. Alright, it's not great, but I can navigate with this. I don't hear any audio, though. I think the audio got bugged. Should hear my engine sounds at least. Not good. Wasn't far enough forward. Still not. Oh no, this is a terrible landing. You know what? I'm gonna blame the stuttering frames for that one. I do not accept responsibility for that. I really hope this plan of mine works, though. This is going to be the last time I'm going to have an opportunity to do this. Or one of the last times. With 3.24 right around the corner, this is what we're trying to do is going to be quite a bit harder. Seems like maybe frames have leveled out a little bit, so maybe it was just something weird going on with the server. Still not great, though.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Cutlass Steel, best new Cutlass, super buffed HP now. Yeah? That's good. Cutlass Steel needed some love. There we go. This corner's working better. So my thought is, right now the elevators are shared by everybody. There's no private elevators like there will be in 3.24. So if I'm patient, someone's going to use this elevator to get to their ship. And if I just keep walking into the corner, they might just think I'm desync, which will make it easier for me to get onto their ship. How many players are on this server? So did they make any other changes to the Cutlass Steel, or did they just buff its HP? New idea. First, I should check to see if there's anyone even out here. Tisa might not have been the greatest spot to pick. I don't see any players. I mean, I guess what I could do is I can walk into this terminal. And then I'd have a view of those ASOP terminals over there. So if a player does come around, I'd be able to see them. I'm really glad Voodoo Child wasn't here though to see that landing. That was definitely one of my worst ones. Yeah, my character does need some water. Oh. There's a player. What's he doing? Hybrid V is always watching.
Hey there,
True
stranger.
that.
Get on in here.
Great to have you. Beyond what you can see, we have a few more ships available on the terminal.
Hybrid V haunts my dreams now.
Come on in. Don't be shy. We're all family here.
Oh. He's gonna pull something out. Have our victim. Ah! I guess that's one way to keep me from pirating. Man! We were almost there! Well, it's like that old advertisement on the DVD said, piracy is not a victimless crime. Dang it. Let's go back in, give it another shot. Everest Harbor is a good place, busy, crowded, and usually only 1 or 2 hangars are used for each size of ship. Yeah, maybe I should swap tactics and go. Do you think Everest is going to be busier than Lorville? I guess it would kind of make sense that it is, right? People want to avoid coming to Lorville if they can. But Lorville has the CDD. And so my thought was, if I'm trying to catch someone with cargo, they're probably going to be at Lorville. Because you can't sell off as much stuff at Everest, right? They would be flying out, so you'd have to ride with them. Well, yeah, that was the plan. If I can tuck onto their ship, then I can just hide somewhere and then eliminate the threat. That was the plan. I don't know how well that's going to work. Might be stuck in an infinite loading screen. I don't see any inconsistency with the loading bar. Give it a little bit, though. Yeah, I just got counter-pirated by CIG. Yep. Hope someone clipped that. That's... That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, just give it some more time. All right. I'll try. I'll try to be patient. Almost had it though, guys. Come on. I was in the elevator. The way he was moving around, I'm not sure that he saw me. I feel like he would have had to have seen me right there at that moment, when I got in, but maybe not. And then he backs into me, and then I just see the version of the stream that I watch is delayed by a few minutes, so I'm just like rewatching my demise. It is one heck of a load time. Trying to think though, because like I didn't bed log, so it's not like my character is stuck trying to load into a bed that doesn't exist. Can you do console from where I'm at? I didn't know that you could access the console here. Display. Does it matter which one? I'll do 3. That way it shows me as much as possible. Let's see, where would it be on that line? Entity counts. Oh, you're saying to like hold it open like this. Well, so it is trying, right? Is this a good thing or a bad thing if it's trying over and over? I've got my Samsung Galaxy phone off to the side here, and I've got it running my stream because I might as well give myself another streamer or another viewer when it makes as much of a difference as having one extra person does. And on my main screen, I just saw the notification for ads inserted. I look over at my phone, I got the ad. So I just got paid to watch an ad. All right. I don't think it's gonna recover. I'm gonna give it the I'm gonna kill it and try again. Oh, yeah, we gaming now. Girl next door, are you a scientist in Star Citizen? Are you one angry scientist? Okay, I thought so. There's not so many people that would give me such undeserved sexual tension in my comments. All right, let's try loading again. I only speak the truth. You flatter me, sir. So do you have to do the? Because now it's showing me like all kinds of stuff. So do you have to have the display info thing already typed in order to get it to show what I'm looking for? If you want to, I tried to join on you. It says that it's not available. I can't join. I sent you a party invite too, and then it didn't look like you ever accepted that. So, giving me mixed signals there, bud. All right, doing something. All right, we got back in. Are you doing the guide system? I really should do more of that. For as much as I talk about how great the community is, I have not been contributing as nearly as much as I used to. Okay, so far this server feels pretty pretty mint. Let's go get some water though, because my character is about as dry as my IRL body is. I haven't drunk enough water today. Mowed the lawn though. When I first moved into this house, my yard was totally dead. Hardly anything on it was green. I've been here for about 3 years now, and like 75% of the yard actually looks pretty good now. There's still a few dead spots, but it's finally starting to look respectable. I've got fertilizer that I put down every 6 to 8 weeks. I'm watering it consistently. So it's kind of nice to see something that takes as much time as that does turn around. Feels it's nice and rewarding. What kind of garden do you do? Veggies, flowers? I always want to do a garden, but I feel like a garden is more of a commitment than I can handle. Growing hibiscus right now. You know, I spent 2 years living in Mexico, and they do hibiscus tea all the time. It's great. They call it Jamaica. And when I got back to the States, I was looking all over for Jamaica, and it's spelled like Jamaica. So, you know, when you ask about it, people are like, what are you talking about? Or worse, they think you're asking some racist thing. But, no, Jamaica is just hibiscus.
Hey. Use your Mobi, all the info's right there.
Mint, hibiscus flowers, tree saplings, and wild plants in your yard. Cool. Mint would be a good one. I would. I should start with like a little spice garden, something that I can just like hang in my window, and that way I can get some fresh herbs for cooking.
What you see is what we got.
I like to do Italian food a lot, so doing some oregano and some basil, that'd be pretty good. Okay, it lets me buy it that way.
Oh, you again.
Yep, me again. Don't be rude. I'm a customer. I'm giving you money.
That's pretty much everything we got.
You don't say. Well, that's what I think. If they ever implement a mechanic where properly putting your bottles in the trash works to delete the entity,
What you see is what we
I
got.
will do my part to clean up the server. But I used to be really good about making sure to try and put it in the trash can. But they don't give you anything for that. And I feel like that'd be a really obvious one to clean up entity counts a little bit. Without needing to implement a whole janitor AI NPC. Okay, this time I'm gonna really bean him.
Hey, welcome to...
Ah, it went over his head. Mint is pretty good as a tea for stomach pains, isn't it? I feel like when I was in Mexico, that's what they would give you for, like, indigestion.
Oh, you again.
we go. I think that counts. I think I hit him. I know what you're saying with husbandry, but that's such a weird word. Like, it means taking care of animals and stuff like that, but just like the association I have with husbandry, it makes it sound more like bestiality or something's going on. English is whack. That is for certain. I think a lot of the problems that English has is a lot of it comes from the fact that the British Empire spanned across several countries, and it would take bits and pieces of everybody's language that didn't exist in the same way in the English language and just smash it all into the imperial language. And so you get just a lot of things that are exceptions because they come from other origins. That's my theory. Simlish, is that what they talk in The Sims? The only thing I know about The Sims is that you can do woohoo. And so, yeah, that's got to be what it is. There's no way is what you just typed an actual word in any language. My favorite alternative language is beep boop 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 bop. Let's see if anyone catches that one. I will give 10,000 AUEC to whoever is able to figure out that reference from that line. Want to be inconspicuous. So if I stand back here, I can see all the ASOP terminals. If the player comes up, then I can reposition. Can't do my walking thing right here because Joe NPC's in the way. Do it here. Yeah, that looks right. How many people are on this server? That's also something I need to check. Might have just put me back in the same one. Doesn't feel like a full 100. This server might be little more empty. Not zero to hero. I'm trying to tuck onto someone's ship. When 3.24 comes around, I think I do want to do zero to hero. So I'm gonna set up a way to track my expenses and try and give myself the authentic new player experience. But right now I'm just trying to be a tool and steal someone's stuff. Nah, I want it to be organic. I don't want to just have someone from the stream pop in and then I steal their stuff. That kind of defeats the purpose. But we were so close just a few minutes ago. Someone came in, I was able to get onto their elevator. Well, what's going to be at the perimeter gates? Yeah, my plan was, Schlag, I can put all of my items into the Carrack. Yeah, when 3.24 comes out, I'm gonna put all my stuff in the Carrack. Oh! We got someone in the sperm suit. Potential victim. Okay, did he just AFK or did he just desync? This game is really giving me a run for my money right now. Come on, dude, do something. Why did you AFK right now? Come on! You are my content. Do something! Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they see me, but that's why I'm doing the walking animation. My hope is that they think I'm desynced. Else, why would someone just be walking into the wall, right? I'm trying to pull off a trick from the old Halo Reach days. When you, if you imitated your hologram, you could get them to attack the hologram instead of you, and then you could get easy assassinations. It was a great time. See, that was my other thought, but the problem is I need to be able to dispatch the player. So my plan, if it works, is desync here in TISA, and then tuck onto their ship, hide somewhere, and pop a cap at them. But if they have a lot of cargo, then I need a tractor beam to move it off. And so that's why I've got the tractor rifle on my back. Oh, you know what it is? He submitted a claim, right? That's why he's waiting. He's AFK because he went to claim his ship, so he probably stepped away while he's waiting for... Oh, see, yeah, he came back. Moment of truth, come on. Don't look at me. I'm just glitched. He saw me. He saw me.
Really? You think that's really gonna happen?
Oh, dang it. Okay, fine. Fine. He got me. Piracy is so hard. Yeah, he wasn't going to go to his hangar, though. Maybe I should just be waiting in the hangar, though. Dress as hangar staff, wait for suitable ship, get aboard. Transfer needed gear from local to their ship inventory, gear up when he takes off. Okay, let's see. Let's go to a hangar and see what these guys are wearing. Pick a random number. What if it ends up being the same hangar? That would be great. Any staff here? Need to see what your uniform looks like. I could chill in the hangar. I mean, no way anybody sees me over here. But then I need them to get assigned to hangar 4. Yeah, this could take forever if that's my method. Oh, here's a staff member. So, navy with knee pads and elbow pads. Let's see if we can find at least something similar in one of the shops. Alright, let's try hangar 2. Test of what, Schlag? What do you want to see? Okay. Let's see. What qualifies as a medium ship? Because I know the Carrack would be a large ship. Okay, Hangar 1 and 2 were empty. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Because it does seem like it behaves that way, right? So... Horse is probably a medium ship, right?
Your insurance claim has... Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Your insurance claim has been sent.
The 5.5-minute timer.
Please visit us again.
While I'm waiting 5.5 minutes, it's currently 10:38 where I'm at. I'll keep doing this. Maybe we'll get lucky. And we'll get another customer. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I'll give it the... I want to get a decent sized ship landing there. So, let's see if we can get the Taurus to spawn. See where it sends us. And then we can linger in that one specifically. Another good one though is we could go to Grimhex because that has open pads. I think I want to do that. We'll go to Grimhex. They've got open pads at Grimhex. And there's always scum there.
To the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I have 2 Cutlass Blues. I don't remember having these.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Pisces. That's a fun little ship.
Vehicle selected.
Hangar 6. Oh man, you guys seeing this play-by-play in the chat in the server? We're talking about the UFC fight. Someone asked for a play-by-play. They're fighting. Little beings, men hug, men tumble. That's not wrong. That is an accurate description of how the fight's going.
All systems online.
If we could type fast enough, though, to give a play-by-play of a UFC fight, I think that would be all the job security you could need. Oh, come on. This thing flies like a brick. Which, I mean, look at it. It is a brick. It's a cutie, though. Y'all love our Pisces. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this across the internet, but while I was mowing my lawn today, I must have stepped on an anthill, and so a bunch of ants start crawling on me. And so I take my shoe off, because that's where they were, and I'm trying to like shake them off my shoe, and in the process of doing so, I jammed my thumb super hard into a brick wall, and totally bent my nail. It bruised almost instantly. Right now it doesn't look too bad, so maybe I got off lucky and it's not gonna bruise super bad, but it's pretty tender right now. It doesn't feel too hot. But nails are super sensitive. If you do smack one hard enough to bruise it, they take forever to heal. You know, what I hope that Zero to Hero runs look like in the future, I hope that there's a level of progression for new players where they might not even have access to their starter ship. Because I'd like to see that there's some missions that start you off learning the basic mechanics of how the FPS system works. And, I mean, in theory we should have passenger transport. So maybe ships are pretty expensive, even if you have insurance, but you might just use a ticket to buy some space, to buy a seat on a passenger transport. Do a couple missions that way, and then you get access to your ship. What's that? 6 gigameters left. Almost there. Got a little health hack for you guys. One of my favorite snacks is cream cheese with jalapeno jelly and Ritz crackers. But cream cheese, a lot of fat in that, and Ritz crackers, not the healthiest option either. But what you can do is you can swap the cream cheese for Greek yogurt, which gives you almost the same experience, but the Greek yogurt's a lot healthier than the cream cheese. I'm thinking when I'm done streaming for tonight, I'm probably gonna load up a snack plate like that for me. Made some very, very mediocre spaghetti for dinner. And so I didn't eat a whole lot because I was just very disappointed in how it turned out.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now off.
And this is a really weird route. Alright, have a good night, scientist. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, if I get any highlights, they'll probably go up on the channel later. But peace out.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Oh, wow. That was some crazy pop in. Alright, so when they've got the white markers on them, those are abandoned, right? Those ones aren't worth trying to cause trouble with. I'm not going to be able to get onto that guy's ship. But my thought here is, got the open pads. I've also got easier access to the hangars from the outside. I don't see any ships on the pads right now. So I don't think that's the move. But what I can do is I can go to the hangar side. And I can try and sneak into one of the hangars here. But shoot, they would be like leaving at that moment, wouldn't they? That's not really going to work, is it? Oh. All right. Please open the door. Come on. Some intense delay here. Oh, there we go. I think my other option is I can hang out here a little easier. I don't think they're as likely to see me here. It's gonna be. It would have been tougher to do it at Lorville. Oh look, you can also do a sidestep. That works. Take a peek downstairs. This server is not popping up. This is why we need server meshing, guys. There's not enough players to victimize.
That's pretty much everything we got.
Shopkeeper talking to.
Well, I think I'm going to call it for tonight. We gave it the old college try, but, and, I mean, we did have 2 almost catches. But I'm going to do a little more research on the subject. There's probably a better way to go about this than what I'm doing. But I would like to tuck and kill someone on their ship before 3.24 comes out. Because it's going to be a bit more challenging to do it in the future. But, oh, and forgot, we pulled up Ryzen Master so we could see what my computer pulls. So it was doing 140 watts on the CPU. So that's that curiosity sated. And then, let's see. I can do my new animations. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Odd Job Entertainment if you want to see more engaging content like this. And then, if you want to support the channel, Orbital Bombardiers get shoutouts in videos and now streams too. So there's that option too. But until next time, this is Odd Job Entertainment signing off.